What's going on, everybody? This is Corbin, the Serpentine Skipwith, and I'm here with very special guest from Anthrax, Joey Belladonna. How are you going today?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, fellas. Good to see you.
It's a pleasure to have you on this. Obviously, Gavin's your biggest fan, and I'm a massive fan myself, so thank you again for taking this time.
You're more than welcome, man. Thank you. It's nice to talk with somebody.
All right, so the first question I have for you is, what was it like for you growing up? What was the music scene like?
Music scene for me was, basically I was on my own listening at home to great records, and my sister, she was down with a lot of good stuff, like turned me on to like Jethro Tull and Crosby, Stills and Nash and God, I mean, Chicago, all kinds of different music, and I was into the Beatles, and then next thing you know, I'm jamming to Yes and Kansas and Foreigner and Journey and all this stuff. And I mean, I'm leaving a lot of bands out, Zeppelin and The Who and all that. And I just was loving music as much as I can. And then I would jam. I would constantly try to jam with people and put bands together. And I was always in tune with trying to play some shows somewhere, and just my basement would be like a good place to jam. My parents were cool with that, it was that basically.
Nice. I've always been curious, did you have to go to any singing lessons or anything for your voice, or was it a natural thing you discovered?
No, I would sit in my room and I would wait for my parents to leave, and I would blast the stereo and look out the window, have a few beers, or maybe not really early on, but whatever, just kick back. And I felt like I was in concert at home, just singing to everything I could sing to. And I just felt good about it. But I was also playing drums at the time. And I just grabbed the boom, and then I started singing with the drums. And I was constantly doing drumming, singing for a long time, until the 80s, like the 1980s, like when I finally jumped off the kit and was a lead singer. But I didn't take any lessons, I was just singing away, I had a good feel. I mean, I sing to the Beatles a lot. I mean, when I first started, the Beatles were like, I was just constantly working on harmonies and just melodies. And I wasn't really a big metal guy, really, at the time, I just listened to whatever I liked, whatever came to mind. But again, like I said, my sister had such cool, different variety of music that I was open to a lot, which I still am. I'm like, if you had any idea what I listen to, you probably go, wait a minute. Now, are you a guy in the band that goes listen to metal? Because it really doesn't have any kind of correlation. It does, but it doesn't really matter to me what I listen to, because it's just whatever I'm in the mood for, I don't have I only listen to metal. That's it, man,
Did you ever have any peers around you who were like, oh shit, you're really good at this, like you have a great voice, you should be a singer? Do you ever?
Well, most people that I jam with were just happy to be around someone like myself that wanted to play drums in a band. And then you start getting, wow, this guy plays bass, guy plays guitar. And then people were coming in and out of my house, but we had a few people that kind of stuck around. And I really was the only one that sang around me, other than going to someone else's, everybody else had a band or friends that I wasn't really friends with. So they thought they were good at what they were doing. I didn't give a crap. I was just doing my thing, and we were just jamming away. And I don't even think my guys that I was jamming with really thought anything of it. But hey, man, you can sing, fine, let's do this. I don't know if I was really getting any kind of high praises or anything. I just think it was just one of those natural transitions that I was singing and playing, and nobody thought twice about it. Obviously I didn't suck.
Definitely not.
I mean, we were doing some really great stuff. I mean, back when I had the bands going, we were doing Rush and Journey and Deep Purple and Rainbow and UFO and you name it. I mean, we were doing the Tubes and Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen. I was singing anything and everything. And like I am now, I sit around in my house. I've got I record all the time and I got tracks by myself. I could literally go out and do Ambrosia to Priest to whatever. I could do a whole night of this and that and this and that. And that thing twice. I love covering a lot of stuff. Very versatile. So I didn't really care. I didn't think about it. I know I'm going on with it, but it's just one of those things that it's very natural to just try everything other than like the new stuff. I don't know how to like growl and bark and do all that stuff. Nothing wrong with it. I just don't know anything about it. It doesn't compute to me, you know?
Yeah.
I gotta have melody. I gotta have some range. I gotta have space. I gotta have some cool stuff going on. Challenging, you know, gotta be that, you know?
Yeah. Do you have any input, Gavin?
I actually saw with the growl on YouTube of you with Kill Switch Engage. And Jesse Lee
Holy
and
Diver.
the guy.
Holy Diver, right?
Yeah. That's it. That's the one I saw, man. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. And then I've also a huge fan of Kill Switch Engage, both eras, obviously with Howard Jones and Jesse, and that. So, you know, huge fan of them guys as well. But yeah,
great band. It's a great tour together. I mean, they look forward to doing that each night. I mean, that was a highlight for all of us. You know, and Ronnie. I mean, let me come on. I'm all about Ronnie. We go way back, and you know, I can go on and on about that kind of stuff.
Were Scott and Charlie part of the guys, and Frank, of course, were they part of the guys that would come and go to your house, like when you were young and starting out? Like, how did you meet Scott and Frank and all that sort of stuff?
I didn't even know who they were.
Really?
I had no idea. I never heard of Anthrax. Never heard thrash music in my life.
Oh, really?
I had no idea. When I got a call from my father, said somebody wants to have you come up and check their band out. So I flew up. I flew up from almost to Canada to Ithaca, New York, where they were recording, doing Spreading and you know, Armed and Dangerous and all that stuff. And I just came in. I had no idea who they were, and that was the first time meeting them or hearing any kind of music like that. So. And I just, within a day or two, I'm singing like Armed and Dangerous and Madhouse and Panic and Metal Thrashing Mad. And like, it was just like that. And I'm like, I'm not too sure, but it seems to be working out pretty cool.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I still know those guys. I mean, I know them, but it's such a like a different thing every time that we're together. I mean, it's almost like we grew up together, but we really don't. I don't know how to explain it. You know, it's just really strange. You know, I didn't grow up.
They always seem to be working on other stuff. Like Scott obviously did Mr. Bungle stuff and things like that. Do you do stuff like that as well? Do you have side projects and things like that you get into?
Oh yeah, right now I got a whole Journey band that's awesome. We've been recording a lot. You know. And we got the band together. We rehearsed. I got Lee Greenwood's band, which is a country. They're they're metal guys too, but they're also play with Lee. And, you know, he's a famous country kind of, you know, and these guys are Nashville musicians. They're really great. And like, I just got some mixes today. We've been mixing and we'll probably do a full record, but we want to go live with this. And I'm just so stoked to do that. You know, I had a cover band, you know, also too, but the Journey thing is really going to be the new thing that I do. And I go out by myself too. I have recorded tracks. Just fire away, man.
Yeah. Well, you've got was it 3 or 4 solo albums? Was it 4? 4
yeah,
solo
they were kind
albums?
of demos, man. They were really demos. They never really should have been called a record because some of them are like 2 weeks in and we just make the songs up and like, we're writing songs daily and they weren't even really quite even ready, you know. I just wanted people to hear them and they come out as solo records, but they aren't yet. They're not done, you know. A lot of those are really just demos.
Well, I listened to
one record with Mausoleum was from the demos, that was considered a record.
Yep.
But the rest of them are all, I mean, anything you hear outside is just really large demos.
Oh,
Yeah.
I listened to Belladonna last night. 95, 95. You put that out. Belladonna. That's a pretty solid album. You know,
Yeah,
like that
and
was
then,
cast.
but when you hear Artifacts 1 and 2, those are the original demos of that, which is me and Paulie Crook and a drummer local that played with the Blue Man, and those were the core demos, and they're pretty good for 8-track cassette.
Yeah. So they're like, they're basically in their raw form, sort of thing. Like, yeah, that's awesome.
I kind of like them the way they are, because they are what they were when we put them together, and we would just write a song a day and just go to the next one. And
it's like I said, it's a solid album. I was listening to it last night. It's a kick-ass album.
Cool.
I'd
like to do more. I have tons of material. I just, a lot of people come and go too quick. They don't sit around in woodshed and get it done.
Yeah.
Maybe the Journey band will actually take on that role for me, because we want to write some stuff. We will. I mean, we have all the means to do it, but we want to finish this Journey thing too, and take it out and want to slam that stuff out.
But what about the writing process with the guys from Anthrax? How does that tend to work? Do you obviously, do you all sit down and write? You know what I mean? Like, obviously, do you all sit down and just nut a song out together, so to speak?
It's a lot of things. Everybody does stuff on their own. People come together. There's a lot. There's jamming and all that kind of stuff. It just takes time. We don't rush a good thing. We'll see when it gets closer, then we can all talk about it in rare form.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Another question I've got: do you run your Facebook page? Do you do that yourself? No, I was going to say, because there's a lot of stuff.
Why you ask?
Oh, just because of some of the stuff that gets posted, like just a lot of memes and stuff like that. And I thought, is he out there liking this stuff? Like, is that?
You know what? I want to give a shout out to my guy that does that. Thinking of you, Tim. Had a couple of days and stuff. He's really great. They also are a company called MajorGeeks.com, and they're well known all across the world. And he's just a great guy for what I have. He helps me out. I'm just really not that savvy, but we are in constant contact. Nothing gets up without a little bit of this, a little bit of that, talking and stuff. But I mean, I'm not good at it. That's all. I'm well aware of what's going on. In fact, I'm sure we could do 100 things more, but I'm not the guy to go, hey, I just went out and had coffee, cut the grass. I don't know. I kind of rather do stuff that's really meaningful sometimes. And when things come up, like doing stuff for the vets, and all that kind of stuff, or the anthems, and I really, really get behind stuff. But of course, if I go to a show, we might, I don't know. I just not into a lot of the small stuff. But I'm glad you dig what's going on. I mean,
man. Obviously, I see the memes and stuff like that, and I've often wondered to myself, is Joey posting this stuff? Is he sitting on Facebook looking at something now and he's thought that's funny, I'm going to share it, So I've often wondered, like, is this him? Surely this isn't him, and I thought, maybe you've got, exactly like you said, like, you've got someone doing it for you. I just thought it was fun.
Is that okay? I mean, I hope that isn't offensive. It's not like I don't know what's going on. Because, I mean, I almost don't want to bother someone that's doing it right, that knows what they're doing, and have to just keep pounding away at stuff. I know people have got other stuff to do, and I'm glad you like it. I would love to do more, and believe me, I mean, if we talk about the Journey guys, we were talking, we got to just post some stuff up, get people interested, because we haven't really done anything, and we want to do that. So little things I can find, sure, I want to do that. And of course, Anthrax, they post something, it gets shared and things, and if I sit in with a band, like I said, I would say Steel Panther doing a Journey song.
I saw that.
Things like that. That seems cool.
You've done that a couple of times with Steel Panther now.
They love doing it. They ask me and they put me in the set, and we're friends. We go back, and it's really, really nice. I did it with Cheap Trick and Seven Dust. I mean, I get up and sing with people. I like doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's cool. That's heaps cool.
People are cool. Some people
I
don't have.
that I'm a huge fan of vinyl. So when I was a young fella, obviously that's all that was around was vinyl, and I still have Antisocial on red vinyl. The cover's a bit beat up and that, but I still have it. Do you collect vinyl? Are you into your vinyl still?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff. In fact, we just got some mini record players. Do the minis.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, but I still have all my vinyl that I thought I had. You know, sometimes when I was gone, my brother would have somebody over, and my mother would say, "Yeah, so and so borrowed some stuff." Like, I didn't let him. Why'd you let him borrow? It's like, I don't know what he borrowed. You know, so like I might have lost some stuff, but I got everything. I've never given anything away. I got some really cool vinyl. You know.
Yeah, that's. So I obviously when I was a young kid, you know, I bought probably 4 or 5 year vinyl out, 4 or 5 Anthrax albums, and then obviously vinyl dropped off a bit and got into CDs and stuff like that. But the vinyl resurgence in the last couple of years is sort of just kicked right off again. Yeah, you know.
We still rock the vinyl, man. I mean, there's stuff that I don't even know we put out. You know?
Really?
Where do you get that? Whoa, you know.
Well, it's funny that you say that. There was an album, I can't remember the title of the album, but it was on a splattered vinyl. And I think it was on Amazon. I saw it yesterday, and it was on splattered vinyl. And I thought that'd be expensive though, but I thought that'd be really cool.
Yeah, a lot of it's legit too. You know, you know, when stuff isn't legit. I mean, obviously, there's been some releases that aren't really authorized or whatever, and all that crap too. Yeah, that's cool. Vinyl is very in demand. It's probably hard. You got to get in line to put that stuff at the right time. You know.
I'm actually trying to convince my partner to come over to America because I'd like to check out Aniba in Hollywood there and have a look at that store because that seems like a really great vinyl store. And also there's a record store that's just opened up in Portland, Too Many Records. I want to go there and check that out too. But trying to convince her to spend this money to come over, you know, she's not. She's got mixed feelings about it because all it would be me just going from record store to record store looking for vinyl. But yeah, I'd love to come over and just check out the vinyl scene over there.
Oh yeah, nothing like a cool store when you go and get lost. You just got to come there with a list, so you know.
Yeah, man.
Like,
yeah.
I know what I gotta get here, man. I hated going to the store thinking I'm going to buy something like, oh, I didn't bring my list, or did I have this? Wait a minute, let me check. I didn't bring my iPod with me just to see if I had certain things, you know.
Yeah. Corbin, you got anything to say there, man?
Yeah, I was just letting you do your thing. So all right. So the question I have is, during your first run with Anthrax, obviously there was stiff competition. You know, you were one of the big four, and there was 3 other bands. Did that level of competition inspire you to make sure that you made nothing but classics? Because because like the Anthrax discography is just full of classics, and I wonder, was that because you knew you were surrounded by other talent? You're like, all right, I got to work harder, I got to work better than everyone else to make a more classic album.
You know what? Everything we do is always that way. You never ever let I mean, you can tell even our last 2 records. I mean, we bust ass to get something really good. There's no rush. You got to really think about what we write, and we want to stick to the core. And it's nice to kind of bring back everything we've been doing. And as long as we do it with the best intentions, I don't think we ever really let our guard down with anything. And we never really get too concerned about personally, I don't get too concerned about what's going on around me, because I got to do what I can do and do it really good and hope for the best, you know. I can't try to chase anything because nobody's like one another.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, the really interesting thing is when I talk to people, because I'm friends with a lot of metalheads, and you know, when they talk about Anthrax, it's like you guys are so much more, you know, you have such a more groovier, funkier sound than the rest of them, and you know, you stand out that way. You're a lot more. I don't want to say like, you know, sonically you're a lot more catchier and groovy than the rest of the stuff, and I really like that about you. I like the fact that it's you know, different. It's different in that way, and you guys actually have a message in your lyrics. You guys are actually trying to push something out that's meaningful, And I think that really stands out.
Yeah, that all goes hand in hand. That's really important. And I like the variety. I mean, I always try to get variety out of every song. Every time I hit a song, I'm always trying to get some as much I can out of each song, and it's really important. But I get it. Yeah, the message is good too. The message is really important.
Yeah, yeah. So also, the one thing I want to hear about is the band Bible Black, which was your first band, correct? If I'm mistaken, way back in the day.
Well, I had one, two, like three, cover bands prior to going into that Bible Black. Bible Black, I almost forget about how we all connected. And I remember taking a bus down to Ithaca, and the next thing you know, I'm in a house with a lot of the Rainbow guys, and here we are living in a house together, but yet we had a great band, but we never really got the thing off the ground enough for me. There was some great music sitting around. I mean, I have books with lyrics and like riffs and stuff. And I mean, I love those guys. And I'm kind of bummed that we didn't get the thing going, but that led me, they were from Elf. Well, the Rainbow guys were some Elf guys, and which was the first Rainbow record, which we knew Ronnie and all that. And it was very Deep Purple-ish, Black Sabbath kind of vibe, but we really never got enough out of it to really even finalize what it could have really been. But that led me to Anthrax. My name came full circle when they were looking for somebody in a big way to try to find the right guy for them to sing on their records, and it worked out great. But I wish that we could have put some music together because it was a cool thing. But yet I was young enough to say, hey, I gotta do something. I can't sit around. I mean, I love it, but man, just living in this house and people are working during the day and I'm hanging out and going out at night and meet up with the guys later and have some drinks. And it's like, wow, we're missing opportunities here. So I had to bail and do something else, and not that I broke it up. We just weren't doing anything enough for me, and I was it wasn't really connected enough. I hope I'm not going on for too long, but there just wasn't enough there. But it was a cool opportunity. It's a great little story, but unfortunately, it just never got going. I think you would have really liked a lot of stuff. It was definitely old school, kind of Sabbathy,
Well, I do love Black Sabbath, so I mean, I know I would have loved it. That got me
rude.
Yeah, I was gonna say that got me thinking. Did you ever meet Neil Turbin, the original Anthrax singer?
I apparently we met at a club when I was playing, but I didn't really have. I mean, maybe it was in passing or we said hi. I vaguely remember even really meeting him. Somebody says I did. I don't. When you're at like one of those things where you're just kind of crossing paths, but nothing on like on a regular basis or on a good night of conversation. I just never had that rapport, and again, for Neil, for me, it was great, whatever they did with him, but it wasn't where I had to take such a big step of place, like sometimes you have to fill that space that's been really done for so long years. I felt like I came in fresh and the band was a fresh new thing. I didn't really have to try to live up to anything he did. In fact, when I did the old songs like Metal, Thrash, Mad, and Panic, I mean, live, we did everything but maybe 2 songs off that record, Fistful Metal, and it was pretty easy for me to do it. I didn't think twice about it, but I also wanted to move on from that record. I didn't want to stay in that record for too long. It was okay, but I liked what we were doing. As soon as Spreading Disease, AIR, and all that stuff started kicking in, we were off and running. I didn't give a shit.
Nice, Gavin. Do you have anything to say?
Oh, just what's touring like for you? Obviously, Obviously,
what?
touring the world, touring, say, globally for you. What's that like? Lonely, boring. You get a lot of jet lag, obviously, and not knowing.
Speaking of that, I mean, we haven't done it for 2 years, and it was like,
Yeah.
holy cow! I mean,
Yeah.
talk about like shutting the thing down. I mean, like putting the car out to pasture.
Yeah.
It was like, wow. I mean, the last thing we did was the live stream.
Yeah. Yeah. All four of you. All separate. I saw that too. You weren't together.
No, I mean, we did a live stream, a 2-hour live stream. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. That was 25 songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're talking 600 some days off, and we went right in and just banged that out, live.
Yeah, okay.
Full on everything. But get back to the road thing. I dig the road. I love the fans. I love the live, the power, the volume, the whole get there, get ready, and here we are. And then you get the fans are just so ecstatic. I can't explain that any more than I love it. But on the road, there's a lot of challenges. You're constantly together all the time. So you really have to be on your, you have to try to be as in good spirits as you possibly can, because you can't be foolish. You have to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly focused to that. So it takes a lot to make sure you're on the game that you're supposed to be on. You don't want to go in there limping. You want to be top notch,
I think it'd be hard. It'd be hard being away from family.
When you go 5 weeks, take 5 weeks to just go and hang out with people all day long, which I can do, but some people are open, some people are not. Some days are good, some days are not. And you got to deal with that stuff,
Yeah. Well, you're touring. I think I've already touched on this. You're touring the States right now, aren't you? Headlining with the Black Label Society and Hatebreed. That's happening now, isn't it? That's still going, isn't it?
Not yet. No, not yet. No? Not till July.
Oh, okay.
Late July, yeah.
Yeah. So it was the next month that kicks off then, or the month after, sorry. Yeah.
We have one show coming up in Milwaukee. It's a festival in June, end of June.
Yep.
One show, and then we'll wait, and then we'll go out, do the full run.
Was that sort of just to work some bugs out, get the rust off, and then kick off on there?
It's just a show that's been booked.
Yep.
Yeah, you take a show that comes in, hey, you guys want to, oh yeah, we got an offer. You want to go? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Man. Sure.
Yeah. But the tour's got to be lined up enough, so it's got to be planned out so it's done correctly and it's in the right frame,
Yeah. And I just want to touch on the records behind you, the gold records behind you. What are they?
We got all kinds. There's stuff all around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you see the ones directly behind you. To you, I would say, that one. Yep. And that one. And those two. Yep. All of them.
That's spreading and among together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. You'd have a.
I remember getting into London. We're underneath the bridge. We got them. I remember getting. I was like, how am I going to get this home?
That's cool.
Yeah.
He's cool. Corbin, you any more?
Yeah. So, all right. So, when you look at the landscape of metal today, do you have any opinions or criticisms or anything of how metal has transformed over the years?
Well, obviously things have really, really picked up in different ways. The tunings, the vocals, even the writing. It's just. Yeah, I mean, it's great. It evolves just like anything else, Who thought that, metal would be still around or something, I kind of like it. I dig into all kinds of different stuff. I think it's great for everyone to have some variety. Of course, now you go online, you can listen to everything and anything at any time. So have your pick, obviously the field is full of all kinds of things. I even listen to a lot of instrumental stuff a lot. I'm listening to fusion a lot. I'm into all kinds of stuff. So, I don't strictly go metal, but I also have sprinkles of all that stuff, and there'll be odd bands that I'll just stumble on. And I'm like, "Oh, this is interesting." So it is fun to be into different music. I love it.
Yeah. Are there any new bands that have come out like somewhat recently that really stand out to you as like, wow, these guys are amazing. These guys.
Well, when you say new, I mean, God, I don't even know what I think is new or new to me. When you find, wow, I just like if somebody said, man, I just started getting into you guys. Like, wow, you guys been, holy cow, you've been already together that long. I don't know. I just like a lot of different stuff. I mean, I've been really into a lot of instrumental guitar players. I love a lot of fusion drumming. I'm into a lot of just good old straight up classic rock. I can't get out of classic rock. Give me anything classic. And I go in like periods. I might go in, be into Rush one day, and next day I'm listening to Zeppelin for all afternoon, or a whole slew of like Foreigner, or whatever, Journey, whatever. I don't know. I'm all over the place. I'm probably not a good one to say. I've always like say Seven Dust, for instance. I mean, I got into them maybe 6 years ago, and we became friends, and I get to jam together. And they're not even new at all, but they kind of were new to me, and it's just it was another slice of a style that I like. And then start hearing some of the solo stuff from some people, and I don't know. I'm lost for like what names are new. I don't want to like outdate myself or be off, but I don't know. I listen to music all night long, and I got an array of stuff. I mean, God, I listen to David Crosby every night. I got solo stuff that I can't listen to enough. And you're like, what? It's just, it depends on what I'm really just, I need to hear things that just make sense to me. I'm really odd when it comes to like listening. Metal is, when I do it full blast. I don't need to have to listen to it to understand it or get into it, because it's sometimes it's more fresh for me, but I don't avoid it because of that. Sometimes I just listen to other stuff. No offense to anything. It's just,
yeah.
I don't know.
And last, the last question I have is, if you had any advice for any up and coming bands who want to make it big, what would that be?
Well, I certainly say to anybody that's doing stuff, don't give in for anything. Keep doing your craft and who you are originally. Be original. Work at all that, and don't be ashamed whether you make it or don't make it, because I'd be the same way. If I didn't actually get a call, say, from Anthrax and wasn't ready and good enough, then I really wouldn't have been able to even precede that group. If you just keep doing what you're doing, and I would still be playing the clubs today if I wasn't in that band, because I like music enough. I mean, like I said, I go out and play by myself or with a cover band while I'm in Anthrax. And I could literally come off the road 2 days ago and go out and play 3 nights in a row and not think twice of it. Somebody like, what are you, nuts? Are you tired? Or why would you go? Like, people say, what are you doing here? Yeah. There's 500, 300 people or 50 people in a club where you had to move the tables. You're like, what are you doing here? Like, why not? I like to play. But a new band, new people, just keep doing what you're doing. Get a style. Keep working at that style. Find a new, and you can put a song tonight. Me, you, all 3 of us could put a song out tonight if you feel proud of it. And maybe somebody would catch on to it. You don't even have to wait around anymore. You can put it out. I mean, I could put out the Journey stuff tomorrow if I wanted to, but I'm not ready for it. But you could release stuff. Go for it.
With social media these days, you kind of don't even need a record label anymore. You can try and just put it on YouTube and off it goes.
Not that I wouldn't want a label. If I could find somebody that would really want to get behind it. I think he had to check out. The boss was coming.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not there at the moment.
I don't know how to get him back. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back in a second. But it's just insane to me, like, because here you are, one of the big four bands. It's like you have this legacy behind you, you have this passion, you have this charisma about you, and you know you're so humble and so charismatic. You have everything, like you have everything a rock star could want, and I think that's really cool.
Well, I mean, I when you say want, you say it's what I would think somebody should be doing, and not so much like you're lucky to have all that. I hear what you're saying, but I was kind of looking into your meaning when you say,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you say you got everything you want.
yeah. Like to me, it's like, yeah, my idea of a rock star. It's like I feel like any rock star would want the qualities that you have, because the qualities you have just make you this larger than life character. This like not character, this larger than life persona on stage. And it really shows live performances, even studio albums. You can hear it. You can hear your passion. And I just think it's really cool. Every time I listen to your stuff, it gets me energized. It gives me energy, you know?
And I love that. I thank you for that. I mean, to me, I try not to get too caught up in any of the glitz and glamour of the band, you know, not to downplay anything. I feel pretty humble as a person, you know, and just really stay focused. And I don't like people say, man, you're so easy. Like, yeah, why not? I'm the same as I was when I was in school. I don't really have to wear a certain outfit. I don't have to talk a certain way. I don't really care. You know, I just try to just maintain myself and be nice to people and just enjoy what I'm doing. And I know some people really might think that that's pretty, you know, really, that's it. No, yeah, I guess that's all you need to do, really. Or unless you want to have people have the whole stigma that goes with it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, wow, I don't know how to touch that, you know, because I've run into, I see vibes. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't want to go near that. I go, that's fine. You keep that. I'm all right. I'm good, you know, but I love when I do meet bands that are really, really cool too. There's something about that. And I get what you're saying, because I'm a fan too. I'm a big fan of a lot of things. And it just feels so good to have the right music when you got it and good people, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's back.
Yeah, phone died on me. I
there you
did
are.
get the charger.
Yeah, shut you down.
No.
Well, you know, I've done all my questions. So, Gavin, if you got any last ones.
No, I haven't. I don't want to keep him too much longer, man. I appreciate everything. I appreciate all the time. Oh no.
Hey man, thank you guys. You guys,
yeah.
Oh, he's gone. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you asked about it. I thought it was a cool gesture. You know, why not? It's cool. You got a good thing. It wasn't because of the cameo, but it did give us the connection. But it, you know,
hopefully one day I can have you on the podcast as well. That would be
well, you know what? That could be cool too. I could be a fun guest, right?
No, you would be an amazing guest, and you know, because what we do is, I mean, obviously you've heard it, but like, we talk about an album every week, a different album. So obviously we would talk about Anthrax to have you there, and it would be an amazing journey. Well,
yeah, don't be too biased.
Yeah,
I know. I don't think I've ever quoted the record or nothing, but that would be interesting. I mean, it'd be interesting to hear somebody else's philosophy and then kind of counteract the thoughts back and forth. But yeah, that'd be interesting.
And I also thank you again for that intro. Like it has, the fact that you're saying the intro to our podcast, it's like I couldn't have asked for a better thing in my life. Like that is perfect.
Well, you know what? I was like, really? I mean, I always like to do more on those cameos. I spend time with people. I mean, I do so long. Sometimes there are people like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But and then like you just wanted that, so I said that's what you want. I will do it exactly the way you want it. I almost like stopped, and you could edit that. And then I was going to go on and just shoot the crap. But I'm glad you liked it, because I didn't really know what else to say, but just wanted to be clear.
No, it is definitely perfect. Obviously, it's going to be our staple intro from now on. I showed Gavin it. He freaked out. I've got the intro to our sagas. Joey saying. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. You guys, if you feel it's going to work, like I said, I don't want people to go, oh God, enough of that guy. I don't want to get sick of it.
They're not real metalheads if they think that. That's just.
Yeah, no, that's right. You're an icon. How could you get sick of that? You know?
Come on. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
come on already. Off already.
You're too modest. You're too modest, man. Like, you're influential. Like too modest. You're too humble. To be honest with you, Joey, too humble.
I don't think about it. I mean, just in my heart.
Well,
I appreciate you guys.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, well, thank you again for being on this interview. It did help having Gavin on because he's a super fan, so he knows, probably 1,000 times more than me. So it's good to have him on. I'm glad to.
Thank you for lending him on, and I had no problem. I think he kind of added to some nice questions, and it was really, really a treat. Thank you.
Well, yeah, thank you again. I'll post this as soon as I can, and again, have a good night and enjoy your day.
Yeah, great, man, guys. Take care. Be good.
Thanks, man. Take care. Thank you.